Hi, I'm Amanda Rodriguez. I'm the global makeup artist with Urban Decay Cosmetics. I'm super excited to be here today. I'm going to create a look that is using the Naked Ultimate Basics palette to create a feminine yet grunge eye look with a bold lip. This look is something that I would create for something editorial, something for a photo shoot, but I also think that it's something that's really on trend at the moment, so it's absolutely a look that you can create for going out for an evening. I think it's distinctly very Urban Decay because it has a feminine, dangerous, and fun feel to it. Before I get into any look, I think it's super important to prep the skin. I typically apply my eyes first on anyone that I'm working with, so I will always moisturize and prep my complexion before getting into eyes, so when I do apply any complexion products, that the skin is prepped and hydrated. Typically I go for a lightweight oil-free water-based moisturizer because it's great to keep in your kit. Any model or person that you're working with, this will work amazingly on. Try to keep it lightweight and fragrance-free. Quick Fix is an amazing product to use to prep the complexion also. It's loaded with coconut water, so it's lightweight and hydrating. It also helps cut redness. To prep the eyes, I'm going to use 2 eyeshadow primer potions. I'm using Anti-Aging and Eden and mixing them together to help with color correction, but I want the skin to show through a bit, which is why I am using Anti-Aging because it's clear. This product is essential for any kit of a pro, because this will make sure that the shadow goes on evenly, doesn't crease or fade. I don't always use this when I'm working on set if I'm doing a quick change, but if I am just applying one look to a model, I'm always using this to even out the lid, and so the shadow glides on really seamlessly. So using my Naked Ultimate Basics, I am going to just apply an all over lid color. I'm just using my large blending brush and applying nudie from the lash line up to the brow bone. This is just to set the primer. It's a great all over color for the lid. To start with creating the shape of the base, I'm just going in with my classic smoky crease brush and using Faith. And I'm just going to start giving a little shape to the eye. This look is definitely going to be a little bit more undone and grungy, so it doesn't have to be perfect. To add more detail to this, I'm going in with Extra Bitter, and I'm using a tapered blending brush so I can get a little bit more detailed with that. To add a little bit more depth to this, I'm going in with my detailed smudger brush and applying a mix of Lockout and Lethal together. Going back with that same brush that I used for Extra Bitter, I'm just going to make sure it's blended. The rest of this lid look, the entire eye look is going to be very matte, so that's why I love using just for a pop of highlight, just a bit of blow. It has a satin finish, so it adds a little bit of texture to this look. So I'm just applying blow on the brow bone, and I love this because it is more of a satin finish. The rest of this look is going to be super matte on the eyes, so this adds a little bit of texture and it's not too overdone. You can still see the skin showing through. I'll add a little bit to the center of the lid as well. I'm going to apply eyeshadow to the lower lash line, but I want to get her skin in the right place first. And then I'll apply under the eyes just so I'm not doubling up on work. So we've got the eyes almost done. I'm going to go in now with complexion. I'm using my self-adjusting complexion primer. She has a beautiful skin. I am a big advocate for your skin looking like skin. I like glowy, lightweight complexions, especially when going into warmer weather. I feel like you can have a really amazing badass eye or really bold lip, but skin should look like skin. Self-adjusting complexion primer is amazing because it is white, and whenever you apply this to the skin, you apply this with your fingers and it adjusts to the person's skin tone and helps even everything out even before you apply makeup. This is something I cannot live without. Also knocks out pores, evens everything out really beautifully. Next, I'm going in with my Naked Skin One and Done in shade Light. This is one of my favorite complexion products. You can use your fingers to apply this. You can use a brush. This is like a BB cream and a foundation in one. Super lightweight, but also gives a really beautiful coverage to the skin. I'm just going to place this on the skin first and then use a brush to blend. My optical blurring brush lives in my kit. This brush is amazing because it's really easy to buff product on and create an airbrushed finish. Especially when you have skin like this. You don't need to work super hard, but you want this to appear like second skin. You can really roll this into the skin to get more coverage, and then also buff that down into the neck so everything looks really natural. Also, tips for complexion depending on what type of work you're doing. If you are working on a photo shoot, I would say don't obsess over blemishes. If you have a couple of blemishes on the face, less makeup is better for a photographer. For retouching, it's something you definitely talk to a photographer about. But if you are doing video, I can show you how I would cover a couple of these blemishes and then also with under the eyes. So I'm just using my Naked Skin Color Correcting Fluid in pink, and I'm just going to pop that right under the eyes first. This is going to help neutralize the darkness before applying any concealer. I'm just using a large shadow brush to apply that. For under the eyes, I'm using our Naked Skin Concealer in shade Light Neutral. Try to avoid warm concealers for under the eyes. It doesn't look very flattering, depending on someone's skin tone, but she's pretty light skin, so anything warm is going to appear really yellow. I never directly apply concealer under the eye because we don't want it to look heavy or makeup-y. I think my biggest tip is to apply your foundation and then concealer. It's really important that you exhaust your foundation and you get everything that you can out of it before applying concealer. That is the key to beautiful skin. Take the less is more approach when it comes to concealing. Most of the time you can get a lot out of a foundation. And then I'm just pulling that down. So for the blemishes, I'm using Naked Skin Concealer in Light Warm. If you were looking for different options for foundation, we do have Naked Skin Foundation as well, which is more of a luminous demi-matte finish that's buildable. It's a classic foundation that we love to use. Another option, if you're looking for fuller coverage, someone who loves a very finished complexion look, I would say all-nighter foundation would be an amazing option. It definitely has been successful when it comes to that Instagram style social media makeup. You know, some women really like a full coverage foundation or something that you can wear all day and all night. It is a long wear foundation. Just to set this work, I am going in with my De-Slick powder. I love this because it's a translucent powder. You can use this on any skin tone. This will just help absorb excess oil. It's great for an oily combination client that you would be working with. But it's also great for setting things like concealer under the eye. It's very light to touch. Never looks cakey or heavy. So going back into the eyes, I am going to take Faith, and this is just my smoky smudger brush. I'm going to apply this to the lower lash line. To smoke this out even more, I'm going to apply Extra Bitter, which is that color we applied in the crease. And I'm just going to start that in the very center of the lid, the lower lid, lower lash line, and start smoking that out a little bit. This is a very layered, smoky, grungy eye, so I'm going to, again, use my detailed smudger brush, dipping into Lethal, and to create more of that detailed, smoky look, we're just going to line this a little bit more detailed along the lash line, okay? To add a little bit more of a smoky look to this, I'm going to use my 24/7 Waterline pencil in shade Legend, which is black. It's designed for the waterline, so we're just going to line the lower lash line for a bit of smoke. Just making sure my edges are nice and blended. I'm going to line the upper lash line using my razor sharp liner, and this is in Dark Force. We are just going to keep it nice and tight at the lashes. So to go with this beautiful strong eye, we have to make sure her brows are looking good. So I'm using my brow beater, and this is in neutral brown. And I just want to create a really beautiful hair stroke finish. And I'm just finishing that with the neutral brow tamer, just to really show off those little hairs. I love using just a soft brush to make sure everything looks really natural. Okay, going in now with Perversion Mascara. This is perfect for that rock and roll edge. You can really load the lashes up with this to create kind of that grungy 70s rocker girl look. But also you can create just like a really delicate, beautiful lash. It's definitely dramatic though if you go straight from the tube. And just a small amount on the lower lash line. It's okay if it's a little bit smudgy. You can take some of that mascara and just kind of rub it into the lower lash line for that rock and roll look. To keep this look monochromatic, I am going to use my Vice Liquid Lipstick, and this is in shade Tilt. I'm using a lip brush to apply this so I can get nice and detailed. So I'm applying the Vice Liquid Lipstick in shade Tilt, and I'm just using my lip brush to apply. Forgot to do the entire glowy complexion because my brain is not working properly, but we'll do it. Did it in the wrong order. So when applying a lipstick, and specifically a liquid lip, it's really important that you prep the lip. I like to use a lip scrub or a toothbrush before applying, so you don't have any dead skin on the lip. I also love a little bit of a lip balm, but make sure that you blot before applying a liquid lipstick so it stays in place. I think it's really valuable to use a lip brush like I used. I basically wouldn't be applying lips to anybody if I didn't have the perfect lip brush, which I love the Urban Decay lip brush. I think it's perfect for hugging the corners of the lips and getting a flawless application. Make sure that your complexion is looking really good, so you prep your skin, make sure that the foundation looks flawless, especially for a bold lip, and last but not least, take your time. This is definitely not lip balm, and in order to achieve the flawless lip, you definitely need to have a little bit of time and patience because it's such a statement. You don't want to have a wonky upper lip or anything looking uneven. I got ahead of myself with the lip. I forgot to apply my highlighter and the rest of my complexion, so I'm going in with my Naked Flushed, and this is in shade Streak. I'm going to start with highlighting the complexion. It is super important, at least to me, that I think that finding the light in someone's complexion and creating a glow is the top of my priority. I would rather add light to a face than immediately go in with a brown powder. I think that it creates more of a youthful look and the skin looks a lot healthier. So finding the peaks of the face is really, really valuable. Especially since the rest of this look is pretty matte, I want the skin to really, really show through. Next, I'll just create a soft contour. I'm just going to use our bronzer and then just find the shape here. And just show off those cheekbones. I'm not a huge fan of a satin bronzer. I like a matte bronzer to create shape. And I also like my bronzers to be fairly neutral so things don't look orange or muddy. The cool thing about this palette though is you can mix any of these together to create a custom look. I love mixing the blush and bronzer together sometimes for a little bit more of a warm blush, or mixing the highlighter with the blush if you want your peach to look a little bit more glowy. Make sure you dust a little bit on the jawline as well so things look even and it blends into the neckline. And a little bit on the hairline as well for that sun-kissed look. For blush application, I want this to look really, really flushed and just beautiful. So I'm just going to go straight across on the face so you get that natural kind of summer kissed look. I've been seeing trends like applications of blush like this has been really, really big in Asia and Japan specifically. I just think it looks really cool and kind of youthful. You can even dust a little bit across the bridge of the nose to kind of create that lived in, sun-kissed, spent the day at the beach look. We always want to look like we just got back from vacation. So depending on what this shoot is for, if you're doing photo, I love a glossed lid, but I always like to wait until the last moment to apply. So I'm going to apply our Rehab Makeup Prep Lip Love. It's a coconut oil based lip product. And go in close for me. I'm just going to apply that right in the center of the lid to give a little bit of a sexy edge. You can also, if you want something that's a little bit more wearable for every day, opposed to using a lip balm or a gloss, our Moon Dust eyeshadows definitely give a little bit more of that look, and you don't have to worry about anything transferring, but I'm creating something that looks a little bit more editorial. I would use our Space Cowboy Moon Dust if you want to create something similar. To guarantee that everything lasts all day and all night, I'm going to use our makeup setting spray in Chill, and to go along with this theme, I'm using Chill because it is more glowy, luminescent, and great for any skin type, but really makes this look like second skin. And that is the final look.